Hey everyone, welcome to Banner Badgers. I am Dave, your host and beginner painter. It's the easiest thing I can say. The beginner painter. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I give it a good go. That's the
Just
best.
go with painter. Everyone is a painter. It's fine.
But there are different levels of painter, and there are people who just want to dabble. People who've never done it before. So I'm in that boat. I'm in. If you've never painted before, you're
a
in
dabbler.
Good company. Yeah, a dabber. I'm a dabber. That's fine. I can do that. Now we are back with the Great British Brush Off here on Band of Badgers. So thank you very much for joining us. If you are here live, we do have some questions. No, we don't have questions for you. You have questions for us. It's the other way around. If you have questions for us, our guests, our painting as we go on, you can definitely do that. Just put it into chat and away we go. Steve over there. Hi, Steve. How you doing?
I'm not on mute, so I'm doing well.
Oh, there we go. We've been doing this for years, but we still get it wrong every single time.
This is part of the
it's the intro now.
Je ne sais quoi of the show, isn't it? That we car crash into every beginning.
Why people love it, Steve. We've had people come up to Steve in the street and at various conventions and says, "You just can't get it right, can you?" And there we go.
I was going to say something else, but yeah, we'll go with that.
I don't get anything wrong. Steve does, because Steve's the one who pushes all the buttons. Unless I get there first, or we both get there, or whatever. But for the Great British Brush Off, we are doing something extra special. We have not only Creature Caster, but also the game designer Taylor Holloway, all the way from the States, for World of Reclamation.
Canada.
Sorry. The other side of the pond. I'll get that bit right. And just to hang out with us. Now, if you haven't already seen the Q&A we did with Taylor, do go check it out. It's absolutely fantastic. This an immersive horror game based in 5e rules. Absolutely fantastic. You can find all of the bits and pieces available on My Mini Factory. And we'll just let you go for that. We're going to show you some stuff. We're going to be talking about it. But Taylor, welcome back. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, guys.
That's cool. I hate the fact you're wearing a t-shirt. It is -1 in the UK right now, and I've just been out to pick up my boy. It's dark, it's cold, it's freezing, and I cannot stop shivering. It is that cold. But thank you for coming back. We've done something right, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, that's good. Thank you.
There's some great stuff here, man. So I'm more than happy to be back here with you guys. I think it's great. This whole playoff, the Great British Bake Off.
Exactly. We don't mention that. We don't mention. It was our idea first. Let's leave it at that.
Okay.
And we'll see. But that is a good point. So on the brush off, those of you who are joining us live, at the end of this, we're gonna be painting for about 2 hours. You're going to see some of the minis. We're going to talk about the character stories and all that kind of stuff. So don't go anywhere. As I said, throw some questions out into live chat, and we will do our very best to answer them. But we're going to be doing a little bit more. We're going to be showing some more bits and pieces. But at the end, you, the live viewer, will get to vote on who is going to win the gold star. Is it going to be me, the beginner, Steve, the intermediate, Taylor, the creator, or even Richard down there, our pro painter? How are you, Richard? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, Dave. I'm not too bad. Like yourself, I'm enjoying the chill that is
the chill. The Arctic blast.
I do realise we have a guest from Canada.
Yeah, no,
I'm just waiting for Taylor to step in and tell us what temperature is over there at the moment.
He's wearing a t-shirt.
I mean, I'm in a house.
Yeah. If he's in his igloo, that's different. But he's wearing a t-shirt, so he's obviously warmer than we are.
I think so.
Even if you are in Canada.
I think it's 4 degrees. I'm way up north in Canada, so I'm in Sudbury, Ontario.
You're in the all right bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Right now,
are we going to do gold star per session, or obviously because we've got 2 of these we're doing, aren't we?
Oh, we're going to. So with something else we're doing as well. We're going to give this a try. It's a bit of an experiment. It might not work. It might work. Might not work. But we're going to do 2 sessions back to back. Now that's not 24 hours or 48 hours of painting. No, it's 2 hours tonight. We're going to come back tomorrow and do 2 more. So you might actually see a finished mini. But because of you won't, because of Richard's. It's a bad eye. We never finish our minis. Because of Richard here, Richard has kindly given us. So Taylor has sent over some STLs for us to print out. We use Richard because we always use Richard because he's Warrior Prince 3D. A prince among men. He's just spelt it wrong. That's all it is. But so he's done these, and these are oversized minis as well. So we can pop all the detail, and that's the thing. We want to really showcase some of the detail in these minis because they are grotesquely beautiful, and also the bases are incredible as well. I mean, you may be able to see that on my camera there. There's a whole load of mess of bones and skulls, and the detail. It's really, really detailed. I mean, there's all kinds of bits and pieces I've been discovering. Once I prime them as well.
Mine is awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing that some of the stuff that's on there. Now, before we kick in, wow, it's only began for 6 minutes. I feel like I've been talking for ages. Before we kick in, we're going to, as always, supporters of Banner Badgers is, of course, Army Painter. I am using Army Painter paint. I'm using speed paints. So do go and check those out. We'll go around the table and we'll find out what everyone's using because it's always nice to find out and find those little golden nuggets. Turbo Dork is one of us as well. Greg and Meredith over in the States have sent over some bits and pieces. We're going to showcase some of that as well as we go on. Metallics and shifters, absolutely fantastic. And of course, Richard, there you can find Richard, the Warrior Prince 3D. He's based in the UK. He's just down near Brighton on the south coast kind of thing. Is that right? Can people find you there? Best thing is on his Instagram.
Best things on the gram, but yes, I am located down the south. So if anyone is local, can always find me around about.
Just wandering around because he's lost.
Just wandering around.
Right,
screaming out the balcony about printing. It's fine.
Exactly. Now we're also going to again. We're here for 2 hours. We've got lots to talk about, lots to show you. We're not going to do it all in one go. I have no idea. Is Steve keeping warm? Is he happy? Is he?
He's not practicing for anything.
I'm just getting a head start. I'm not allowed to paint, but I can certainly check the buggers up.
Okay? That's what I've been doing.
Right. Talking about head start, are we ready?
Yeah.
Paintbrushes ready?
Well, you've frozen. You could have said go.
So your connection's down.
You could be off. You're going to be sitting here watching him go.
Absolutely typical. Absolutely typical. But hey, if you didn't already hear me, ready, steady, go.
Okay.
Go. Right, everyone's gone diggy. Right. So while everybody is warming up, I'm going to sit back and have a drink of water because I think I need it after that. I've got really hot now for some reason. But Taylor, for those of them don't know, if they're watching on YouTube, it's too late. We've already finished painting. But would you like to do the 1 minute elevator pitch? What is the World of Reclamation?
So World of Reclamation is our campaign setting for our Dungeons and Dragons releases. Over the past couple of years, we've pivoted. Oh, you said 1 minute. Sorry.
You can take longer. That's fine.
Yeah, we've done over the past couple of years we've done some STL releases, and those STL releases are all related to our D&D campaign setting called World of Reclamation, which recently just finished backer kit for the actual campaign setting book, as well as all 12 adventures that were part of the first season, remastered and redesigned for easy use. So yeah, if you're looking for a grimdark horror setting that is very thematic, it probably is the setting that you're looking for.
Cool.
It is most certainly.
You've had some caveats. There are some caveats on this as well because it is a horror themed.
Yes.
But reading some of your on the Kickstarter page and on the My Mini Factory, there were some reviews, some quotes from people who have said, "I can't get the images out of my eyeballs" and stuff like that. They are burned into my brain.
It's not Raven, right? It is very like. It's not. I wouldn't say it's over the top, gory, or anything like that. But my whole premise when it comes to writing is to have sort of a creeping horror, right? Really have pull out the tension and then hit you with something so grotesque that you can't forget about it, right? But yeah, writing horror is a very different process than writing other fantasy or writing other genres, because like your goal is to make people uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
Something I've told people is, if you're not uncomfortable, you're not watching a horror movie or reading a horror story, right? It really should make you think, and it should really create a visceral reaction within you, and that's what I aim to do with World of Reclamation.
That's cool. Nice description. Nice pitch.
Thank you.
We've got what we'll do is we'll go around the table to see what everyone is painting from this range. But if you can give it, as we go around, if you can give us some kind of quick background as to what this monster or creature is, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to go first? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm painting. This is called the Rider of Despair, and
let's have a look. There we go.
Yeah. So he's the Rider of Despair. The whole idea behind it's a longer story with what this guy represents, but he makes his first appearance in the 6th adventure, I think. But they're basically powerful demons of the Force of Discord, who are servants of the dead god Nimrath. And this guy in particular, he represents the despair that everyone felt when dealing with this now dead god. So he's sort of a remnant of what she used to represent. So he makes his appearance in the 6th adventure, and they're very much I want to say they're kind of a cross between like a ring wraith and like a Rider of the Apocalypse in a way.
Yep.
Where they're, even the fact that they're there it means that there's enough despair to maintain them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So so that's what I'm painting today. I'm excited because I've had this guy on my desk for a long time and haven't actually had a chance to paint. So
cool.
I'm glad to get him out of the pile of shame.
Yeah, that does seem to add up quite a lot after a while. that pesky pile of shame.
Well, especially when you have
while I'm here, I will show you what I'm painting. There we go. So I'm painting this beast. This is this is the Goblin Captain, is that right?
He's the Goblin Berserker.
Berserker.
Yeah, so he's a goblin that's he consumes. So Goblin Berserkers have been trained or raised from a young age to consume poisonous mushrooms, and they consume them prior to battle, and it enlarges them, but it also slowly kills them.
And it has this awesome sword. This is one of those models which is actually perched up. So if you imagine that this is in the ground, and he is up in the air, this is incredible as well.
He is definitely one of my favorite models. He's just so much. There's just so much. He has so much character, right?
How do you go about commissioning these kind of models?
Well, so we have a bit of a process. Largely, I tell Peter what I need for the writing. Peter is the CEO, but he's also the art director. Then what Peter does is he speaks to our concept artist, Alex Boca, and then Alex draws up a few sketches, and then we give those to our sculptors, one of the sculptors, and see what they come up with. We give our sculptors a lot of leeway when it comes to sculpting because they're the experts, and they typically, alongside Peter's, like Peter keeps tabs on them and that sort of thing. But they pretty much have once they have the concept art, they're able to interpret it any way they want, as long as they don't go too far off course. We're all pretty, we just kind of let them go with it. So it's a group process, is kind of what I mean. We don't, there's not just one person involved with it. It's, we all kind of work by committee.
Does it all go through like iterations and stages? And when you've got this goblin, I'll pose it this way. This is kind of what I want to go for. I want to follow this dramatic kind of.
Yeah, that'd be probably question for Peter, but yeah, he's the one that does all that stuff.
Cool.
Artists are a fun sort to work with. It requires a great. Our sculptors are great, and Peter is really good at having managed artists before. He's really good working with them for sure. But yeah, there's always some iterations that are done. Typically, it takes about. I'm actually always surprised at how long it actually takes to sculpt models. I'm not a sculptor, so I don't know, but like typically when we're looking at it, we get about a model a week done. Is typically our go-to. And then once you have the basic, like the frame of the model, then you can kind of go from there and expand on that, and then it takes less time. But usually making the first model is the hardest. And it usually takes about a week and a half to produce something the size of a goblin or a human or something along those lines.
Cool. All right, I'm going to pass along now. Richard, what are you working on?
Me, I am working on the beautiful sweet tooth.
Oh.
One of my most favourite models of this entire release.
Have you literally just coloured that in just now as we're watching? I'm going to bring it up again. I'm going to put that up. Look. While we've been talking.
It's the benefit of an airbrush.
Mm-hmm.
This is my new baby. This is from, I'm hoping I pronounced it right, Galleri. It's their premium Mobius 0.2, and it is a beautiful piece of kit to use.
Cool. The airbrush is still something I have not yet tried.
You need to get one. It is invaluable.
Well, it's Black Friday sale at the moment, so maybe I'll see if anyone's got anything.
I'll send you the link for the website for these, Dave, because they're doing a couple of decent sort of starter set brushes.
Okay,
for
cool.
about 50, 60 quid.
I've been a very good boy this year, so I could put it on my Christmas list.
There you go.
That with compressor as well.
Is that with the compressor?
For you? No. He's put himself on mute.
He's waiting for it to turn off.
The compressor's going off.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that with the compressor as well? Because it starts.
No, it's not. But the compressors there are some quite good sort of starter compressor kits on Amazon, which are a reasonable price.
Right.
Yeah, compressors are good for a long time too. Like they don't like these mini compressors. I've had mine, I think, for 10 years, and it hasn't let me down yet. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So what's a little bit of the background behind Sweet Tooth?
So Sweet Tooth is actually the creature that inspired this whole mess. He is a Atriarch of Ruin, which is one of the so there's the god Akula, which is the she's the goddess of ruin, and he is an Atriarch. So an Atriarch is one of the so there's demonic hierarchy. Atriarchs are kind of like knights. You kind of view them as nobles, and then you have lords and ladies, which are the of course these are all human terms, right? What the humans call them. But there's the lords and ladies, which are higher nobility. They run armies and that sort of thing. And then you have your kings and queens, which are the most powerful of that demonic hierarchy. So he's an Atriarch. The whole story behind him actually is that he's an outcast from the Court of Ruin because he can't control his hunger. And one of the prime laws of Ruin is that you don't consume your own. And he just can't seem to help himself. So he eats other creatures of ruin, and as a result has been cast out.
Yep. Once he's popped, he just can't stop.
Yep. So he's the big bad of the first adventure in the first campaign. So he's this monster that's eaten an entire village and then lives there, and the PCs have to go and hunt him down.
Cool, nice. Steve, what do you got going on there?
Right. Let's move that out of the way.
I just noticed you're barely on the screen, Steve. We've pushed you off.
Oh, it's because it's resized my window, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I am painting the boatman. So
Cool.
yes. So I'm painting
Thank
the
you,
boatman.
Steve.
So there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of black on this, I think, and I will
What are
paint
you?
them
What?
and try to do some OSL.
Ah, okay. So that was my question. What is your hopeful achievement out of this one? Because yeah, as you say, if there's a lot of black, are you just trying to get that light source back onto his? Because he has that pointy hood.
Yes.
And you got
So
the
it'll
arms.
be this side will be lit, and I will try and do various shades of black or grey on the other side to try and highlight the darkness. But it'll be a very dark model in the end. So I'm
Cool.
using speed paints, and then I'll probably do some dry brushing.
Cool. We missed a comment earlier. Bourbon Hero or Bourbon Hero. Bourbon or Bourbon? Are you talking about the drink or the biscuits? Here is something nice. Says love sweet tooth. Yes, it's lovely and disgusting at the same time. I mean, it is a pretty disgusting creature with these extra mouths coming out, and the way that you talk about it, Taylor, as well, with these two distinct voices.
Yeah,
that's hard.
He's one of my favorites for sure. I'm a big fan of Sweet Tooth. I think he's. I'm almost sad they gets killed off in the first adventure, so he can't make a secondary appearance.
Oh no, spoilers.
Sorry.
He's always the mummy is out there as well. Bourbon says it is the drink. There we go. So Bourbon, as Bourbon, as you were the first person to shout out. Are you painting? Are you joining us with your paints? Are you just hanging out? Are you here to support Taylor? Did you just turn on the wrong channel and go, what are these weirdos doing? That looks interesting. Let us know. And also, what I should do as well, we haven't done this. I'm going to put in some hangout music in the background. We've got some nice calm tunes. Probably shouldn't have calm tunes when you're painting something this disgusting for a horror game, but I will give this a try. We do have some. If you hear bird tweeting and a river flowing, don't worry. And we are going to have quiet bits, but if you the audience who are watching live, if you want to shout out questions or if there's a particular progress you want to see, let us know. Which also includes our guests as well. So guys, including Steve, do you want to, if you want to shout out, just shout out.
So I was just moving my window. I was concentrating.
One thing I should have thought, I didn't realize it before I glued this base down, is that his cloak is really blocking a lot of stuff off behind him. It's this model here, it's going to be a little challenging to get to some of these spots back here.
I've kept mine separate. Normally, so here's a confession. Well, now, the guys know this, but normally I would glue it all together first, and then I would color mine in based on pre-existing artwork.
Okay.
And I generally try to stick to those rules. I very rarely go off script because I want it to look like, say, like the colored picture on the box, that kind of thing, when I'm painting minis. And this one was actually a bit tricky because there's very little painted examples that I could find.
Actually, if you go to our backer kit page, he's right on there.
That's what I'm using right now. So the big one with all of the quotes on Yeah, that's what I've got a zoomed in picture of him, and he is disgusting. I mean, there is a thing like the Goblin Berserker, and I didn't notice this until I saw the coloured in version. But he has his leg up in the air, like this thing here, and it's like it's all like the skin's all manky, and I don't know if it's a burn or he's just got pox or what, but he has some kind of weird skin disease going on.
He is a goblin.
And, yeah, but it's there. It's in the mini. That's how great these minis are. The level of detail you've got skin. Like
if you want grey, one thing I've just noticed again, because I was saying about I keep noticing extra things on these minis. The Emperor model I've got here printed, I've just noticed its knee is actually a creature's mouth as well.
Ah.
Which is just amazing.
Yeah, there's. I made a promise to our tribers on My Mini Factory when we launched, and that was that every miniature that we produce for an STL will have the same amount of detail as any of our resin releases. So we treat our monthly releases the same way we would actually treat a release that we were going to put or produce in resin. And so that is part of the promise that we have maintained now for 2 years, is that you might not be getting the most models every month out of any tribe, but you are definitely getting little pieces of art that you're able to keep on discovering new details on.
That is cool.
Yeah, so we add a little, it's a bunch of little things. I mean, with like Forcus with the faces on his knees, or with our King of Room where you flip him over and his balls are hanging out. You didn't expect it. There they are.
It's like, oh, look, hidden gems.
That's what Peter calls them. But it was, yeah, I mean, part of, so in all reality, though, I mean, our sculptors are all classically trained, and anatomy is very important to Peter as our art director.
Yeah.
That's the first thing he looks at is the anatomy. And he was, from what I understand, he used to be pre-med before he decided to run a game company. And, he's kind of stuck with that, where anytime he looks at a model, he just goes, I don't know if those arms are the right length.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's it's one of those things that's really important to him, and that he's very strict about it with our artists too, that all of our models are anatomically correct.
That's cool. But it's also that level of detail which I like. As you said, it's not just like limbs. You're talking about what you can see in these minis is those layers of muscle, and those muscles are in the right place, as they would, as you say, anatomically correct. You can't just put a big muscle on and then nothing else around it. It's they're all of those bits and pieces. I mean, and again, I'm using Army Painter speed paints here. And it's picked up an incredible amount of muscle tone. I mean, it wasn't this little guy. I mean, he definitely has a six-pack going on. Who did we lose? Oh, we lost Steve. Steve dropped out.
He's just done.
He's done. Yeah. There we go. Boom. There we go. Let's do that one. He's back. What happened, Steve? You pushed the wrong button.
So there's a button on the side of my mouse, and it's back. I nudged it with my hand as I picked my paintbrush up. It's back on the website, so it's out of the studio.
Cool.
Move the mouse right out.
Xeon Scar says, hi everyone. Hi Xeon.
Hey.
He's got a pig and a paintbrush. He must be a painter.
He is. He's I say a new addition to the club. Painter I met and has done some awesome streams and painted some Warrior Prince products as well.
Cool. You are in good company then.
I know this is being allegedly this is also being displayed on the TV at our local game store in Sudbury.
Hey.
from what I understand.
I was just, Black Friday sale. Is it Black Friday in Canada?
Yeah, and it started a whole lot earlier than I thought it was gonna. Completely unprepared for that one. I thought it's the end of the month, and apparently everyone's starting their Black Friday sale now. So if you actually go on the Creature Caster site, I believe we have a ton of deals on there for you. I'm not entirely sure what the deals are off the top of my head, but they will be advertised on the site as of Monday. I know if you buy, the more models you buy, you get successive discounts. This obviously only applies to physical models, but if you are a 3D print person, you can hop over to My Mini Factory and look up Creature Caster, and I'm giving everyone a 40% off at the end of their sale. So you can always jump on and grab there.
Fantastic. That's a great one.
Oh, and apparently someone just messaged my Discord. I didn't catch it. I think it was Frankie. He's watching, but he can't comment because he's at work. So because it is 4:30 here in Canada, so a lot of my friends are actually still working.
No, that's the way the time works, though. Unfortunately, the world keeps spinning round, and depending on where you are, you're stuck with it. But for those of you, thank you for joining us. And yeah, if we're in a shop somewhere, thank you very much. I bet we're on mute. Are we on mute?
I don't think. I hope
sale.
You hear my voice enough. I don't know if they need to. I'm not sure. They probably do have it on mute, to be totally honest with you. Maybe closed caption if that's possible. I have no idea. I don't quit.
Maybe they don't like my accent anyway. Who's that weird Londoner?
Actually, we're pretty used to hearing British accents in Canada. From what I understand, it's more of an American thing where they have a hard time understanding the British accent.
That's fine. We're in good company. We're safe, guys. We're safe.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's I'm way up here. I'm way up north in Canada, so I'm in probably. It's still pretty warm down south, but here is here in Sudbury, it's getting. I mean, we've had a. I think I know we had one day of almost full snow. It went away though, but it's coming, and we get a lot of it. We get about. We usually get an accumulation of about 4 meters of snow every year.
That's 4 meters.
I was going to say we're lucky if we get 4 centimeters.
No, we got 4 meters, like 4 full.
We're lucky if we get 4 millimeters.
Yeah.
We have to hire people. Like typically, you hire somebody, or because we have to remove the snow. I'll send you a video later. I took it for my American friends that didn't believe how much snow that I got. We had a couple of construction vehicles come and remove snow from my driveway, and not my driveway, but on the either side of my driveway, because it was obscuring traffic on the road. It was too high, and they filled up 2 dump trucks full of snow and hauled it off.
Do you ever get cheeky and like put it on your neighbors? Just
all the time. 100. That's why we have snowblower wars up here. You get your snowblower, and then you jack it up, and then you cast all the snow from your driveway onto their driveway, and it led to their problem.
Yep.
Sorry.
There was really strong wind last night. It just must have all gone into your house.
Wow.
A shame.
Yep. No, it's I think though, the snow isn't so much of a problem though as it gets. So we usually have a week or two of about -50 up here where I am.
Yep.
And that's a little more problematic. Like the snow is one thing, but it gets friggin' cold.
I think if the UK were hit by -50, I think
we'd die.
I think we wouldn't survive. Yeah, you'd have to come over, like everyone, be like, "Is the UK okay?" Like, no, they're dead.
I can remember one year we actually had a large amount of snowfall, and how much of the country ceased to exist because we couldn't get our potatoes and our bread.
Yeah,
Jesus.
we just die.
At a standstill, and everyone was panicking.
Now, do you guys So, but do you guys have snow blowers and stuff like, or snow plows, or is it just
No.
not a thing? Okay.
Not
No.
where we are. Not down south. They have, I guess, snow clearers, not big snow blowers like you have in Canada. Though. Up in Scotland, we get a bit more snow.
Ah, fair enough.
Paul Unger. Hi, Paul. Thanks for Paul Unger. Paul Unger.
I know Paul.
Paul Unger.
Paul, come pick up your books.
What's everyone painting today? I'm going to show you. So, good question. We're going to kick this off. We're going to go into the next round. I will put this up because this is the STO. This is the render, not the STO. This is the render. I need to get the name in. It works. Words fail me sometimes. Every time. That's what I'm painting. And now you can see on the leg there, that front leg, all that kind of weird marks. He's got all that pox and whatever. Or maybe it's wounds. I don't know. But he's very scabby. But he is a berserker, and I've got the coloured version as well on my other screen, and he has these kind of big bulbous yellow eyes, which just disgusting in a great point of view. Also, Richard, you are painting this beast. This is Sweet Tooth.
I am painting Sweet Tooth.
Richard is our pro painter.
That is my Sweet Tooth at the moment.
Hold on. I've got to find you. No, I've got jump. Look at that. Wow. Oh, what's it? Oh, he's carrying a body as well.
Oh yeah, he's got a victim.
He's got a snack.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, what else we got?
Snack or an improvised weapon. I love it either way.
Yeah. Oh, and I picked up one of these guys as well. So I'm going to be doing one of these. So we're doing we're going to be doing 3 shows, but we're doing 2 shows back to back today and tomorrow, and then we'll carry on in December. But yeah, I've got one of these bad boys, which is I love the idea of the stitched different colors of the material. He's also bare chested, and he's got these cuts. He's got his metal studs. It's very Mad Max for me. Got these studs just coming out of his arm like broken glass or something. I love it. I think it's absolutely.
You mentioned that was actually the inspiration for the Raiders was Mad Max. It was how
Cool.
I kind of wanted.
Yeah. It really is superb. There's some really nice stuff there. Chris Mini Paints. Hi, Chris. How you doing? Yep, kind of cool.
Great.
We've got Chris Mini Paints. Yeah.
Hey.
Let's find out. Chris, are you the Chris Mini Paints or just Chris who paints minis?
Chris Mini Paints. There is only one Chris Mini Paints.
Right. Back to this. I need to finish bits of these. I love the contrast of color actually, but I want what do I do? I'm gonna do I've got to do his eyes. Got to do his eyes. Are you talking about his eyes? I'm gonna go for it.
Go for the eyes, boo.
Chris Mini Paint says it is me. There you go.
Yeah, I told you. There's only one Chris Mini Paints.
Chris, if you ever want to come on, let us know. We get you painting. You can be the guest pro painter. All you do is chat shit and hang out for a couple of hours and paint minis.
And he is beyond an exceptional painter.
No more qualification than that.
Yeah, but he's never gone head to head in a brush off.
He will win. That's why he's not been invited.
He won't win. You've seen how good I am. Right, I'm going to do these eyeballs. So I'll quickly zoom in on my mini cam. There we go. So this is what I'm working towards. So as I said, look, there's 2 bits. So this is him. Sorry about the shadow there. Oh look, there's his bit on his skin. It's horrible. I'm just using Army paints, speed paints to throw this on. And this is his arm. You see, and his arm is going to plug in his socket over there. And then he's going to be standing like that. That sword is going to be embedded in the ground. So he's going to be up in the air. He's going to be floating up in the air like, whoa! And then this is the rest of the base. So that giant sword is going to sit in there with all these skulls. See, the shadow actually helps pick out some of the detail. So maybe I'll keep it there. and that's going to be big. And then we have printed these oversized, but look at that. What fantastic. I love the pose as well. Absolutely beautiful.
Told you it was a cool one.
Yeah. Yeah. It is also something you could use. I mean, for those of you, not just for World of Reclamation, if you were playing any D&D game and you put something like that and say, oh, you get attacked by goblins, and like, yeah, goblins are easy. It's like, well, here you go.
Here's the level 20 one.
Yeah. Here's the true boss. Yeah, fight that. Awesome.
Well, it's funny you mention that, because next season, so once we're done season 2, which is I'm finishing up right now, next year, instead of doing an adventure every month, what we're going to be doing is more focusing on how to bring our monsters into your D&D games. So it's going to be more agnostic. We're going to be doing some really different things that you would never expect Creature Caster to do, and yeah, it'll be interesting. So what we're going to do every month is release. We're going to do it in quarters. So the first quarter we're going to do, and this is the first time actually even talking about it.
Cool.
Just so you're aware.
Like exclusives.
So this might actually be new information for a lot of people that are watching.
If for those of you in the shop, if you've got the volume on, listen in. If you haven't, you have no idea what we're talking about.
So we're doing the first. We're going to be starting it in April. And in April, we're going to be doing, we're going to start with Onslaught, and we're doing Children of Onslaught. We're doing some Matriarchs of Onslaught, and we're doing some bigger Onslaught creatures that you haven't seen before. And that's going to be April, May, and June. And it's going to come with lore documents. So each month we'll have lore documents talking about the lore and background of the faction that you're getting, and it'll have D&D stats. But people have been asking us nonstop for Children of Onslaught, so this is their opportunity to actually get them, because we're going to be putting them out in STL.
That's superb.
Yeah, it is a bit of exciting news. And again, this is the first time I've even spoken about it in public.
Do you know when abouts next year? Is that going to be early, quarter 1, quarter 2? Or?
April 2025 will be the first one. We finished the campaign in the D&D adventure in February, I think January is the last adventure, and then we're going to do 2 months of just so over the course of the year we've kind of gotten a bunch of ideas for models that didn't quite make it into the campaign, so we're going to just release those with some D&D stuff and extras. Like, they're not really, like, they're pretty random releases. And then we're starting in earnest with this new system in April. So, and then for the D&D front, what I'm going to be doing every quarter is I'm going to be releasing a full-sized D&D adventure that will focus on the models we just released. So it's going to be a standalone D&D adventure rather than a campaign. So, but it'll be like a large adventure, but it'll focus and that'll take place in the World of Reclamation. So the idea is to kind of get the people who are passionate about the World of Reclamation, Reclamation content quarterly, and high quality releases, possibly physical books as well. And then for the people who are just in it for the minis or for their own D&D stuff, that'll be the releases.
I am a big fan of physical books. And I for example, I think Free League have done it very well. Free League, if you buy direct from Free League, you get the book and they send you a PDF, and you get the PDF instantly, and then you're going to get the book in 2 to 3 days. It's in the post.
Yeah, how I'm thinking,
I love having both.
Yeah, how I think I'm going to do it is actually do the every quarter we'll probably just do a Kickstarter that people can get the physical book, and the adventure will already be done and laid out, so they'll get the PDF right away. And they can kind of start prepping, and then within a few months they'll get the physical book delivered to them, and they can use that.
Awesome. I have a suggestion if it's something that you can do. Absolutely. And this is one of those kind of slight niggles I have as a DM. And there are some people who do it, but after reading some of your stuff, I wonder if you can expand on this as well. But when you have encounters, especially in a D&D book, a traditional D&D book, Wizard of the Coast, they say, okay, here's the goblins. The goblins are in there. They show you the map where some of the goblins might be. But what I want to know is, especially if you're fighting like a war band of goblins or bugbears or whatever, I would like enemy tactics that I can kind of follow. And it only has to be like round 1, round 2, round 3. Maybe too often they can get killed off too quickly by the players, or they're going to don't always go for the little one first or the magic user first. It's not about that. It's about, right, what we're going to do first. We're going to go for the big guy this time. We've got a trap. We're going to lead them into a trap. I want them to be now you can do this in homebrew, and I've seen loads of people do it in homebrew. Steve's actually very, very good at doing this as well. For me, I tend to follow the stories as they're written, and I'll reshape it if the players do something unexpected. But generally, I keep within the walls of the game. But I would love to see something that it kind of expands on. It's not just another goblin party. This is Goblin Party who are ready and waiting. They've got tactics. Or one of them is scared. Different weapon types, not just melee and ranged. Make every encounter should be almost dangerous.
Do you mean like having multi-choice encounters, so you could have the band would maybe happen to be particularly good at a certain type of ambush with a certain type of person, will have advantage on this and that?
Yeah. I mean, if like, for example, if anyone's played Strahd, there's a bit that we go over the bridge and there's some werewolves. And sometimes they'll talk to you first. Sometimes the DM will make them just outright attack you. Sometimes because the players have already played it and they're expecting something to happen. But it's really nice when you can throw a spanner in the works just to make it like these are thinking enemies. Not the fact, if it's an animal, if it was a bear, you wound it enough, it's going to run away. It's going to self-preservation. Goblins, there might be something else. There might be, okay, there's a leader. Here comes the berserker, and he's going to mess everyone up. But it'd be really nice to have that kind of level of strategy to make every combat memorable.
Well, I think what I'll do is I'm going to send you actually. It's called which adventure was it? It was the one I just wrote. Obsidian Echoes. I'll send that to you. I actually do some of that stuff with there's a goblin ambush in that in that adventure. And I'll be honest, I did kind of somewhat watch Bone Tomahawk just prior to writing this adventure, just so everyone's clear. But anyway, I'll send it to you because I did do some strategy and tactics stuff in there, and see if I'm doing what you think would be a good idea.
Yeah,
because
cool.
I think you might like it because that's what that was kind of my whole thing, was I wanted to make sure that the players knew that every encounter, that goblin encounter, was dangerous because they surround the PCs, and then they kind of push you. They go down a canyon, and on either side there's the goblins, and they're throwing poisonous vials at them that create smoke that give them disadvantage.
Ooh,
and they're pushing them towards an ogre that's blocked off the path. So, and then they're trying to surround them and take them out.
Nice.
And there's a goblin ogre in there too.
Even better.
Yeah.
Because now I have a mini. And that will get painted. Yeah.
So I've put the base coat down on my my Despair, or Rider of Despair.
Bring it up. Here we go.
Yeah. I'm a little closer. There we go. So that's what we got so far. It's just a speed paint base coat, and then I'm going to start putting some detail on there and do a enamel wash on the model. So
super.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We've also got in the audience, we've got Dig Daddy.
Ooh,
Dig Daddy.
Hey buddy, how you doing?
Sorry, Dig Baddie.
Dig Batty, yeah.
It's Baddie.
Yeah. I was going to say Big Daddy, but he's long gone. And then we've got Dragonborn Industries
hello.
this evening. Hi, Ian. How you doing?
Hey, dude.
So for you, the audience, thank you for joining us live. If you have questions for Taylor or for our pro painter, Rich, I don't know why I'm pointing in that direction. Pro painter Richard. Nobody asked Steve anything. We're throwing them up in chat, and we will attempt to answer your questions for you. Thank you very much. And also, question for the audience: what are you painting? Are you joining us? Have you got your paints? Are you still at work? Are you being cheeky and kind of listening? Have you stopped work just for this? This is all good. Let us know. We're here to help if we can. Well, Richard and Taylor can help. I can't help. I try my best.
I'm getting messages on our personal, on my painting. I teach painting classes at our local game store once a month.
Oh,
and
cool.
I'm getting Discord messages that I can't read because I'm painting and nowhere near my computer. But I'm not sure what they're commenting on, but I think it might be they're watching this and just posting in there about it. So.
Cool. Guys, if you're watching and you're posting on Discord, go over to youtube.com/Band of Badgers and hit the subscribe button.
There you go.
It's that simple. Taylor will be back tomorrow, and we're also going to abscond with him in December, and we've got some more bits and pieces as well for the new year. We're going to be playing World of Reclamation. We're going to be doing it as a live stream. So if you want to follow along with that, make sure to like and subscribe, because every little bit helps. Now, we also remember, for those of you who are watching live, if you stay till the end, you will get to vote on your best painter. I should say best painted mini rather than best painter. It kind of makes more sense.
We have a question.
Okay.
So Paul Lunger says, I have a huge 40k army I need to paint, but the supplies are in the mail. What was the inspiration for World of Reclamation, both the design and the lore?
I know Paul. I used to work with Paul, actually, back when I worked for a magazine. So I know I told this story last time I was on here, but basically we knew we wanted to get into the role-playing crowd, and I was the one that was going to lead the charge on this. So what happened was I ended up doing 3 samples for Peter and Simon, who are the owners of the company, and they got to decide which one we went with. And so the first one was your stereotypical fantasy setting. It was very vanilla. It still had horror elements to it, but it was a fantasy. It was more traditional fantasy. Then the other setting I made was sort of very different in the sense it was a fantasy setting, but it had a lot more Diablo-esque elements to it, and a little bit more grimdark horror, a lot of despair, sort of setting. And then I made a joke setting, which took place in a post-apocalyptic fantasy world, where I modeled a lot of the Reavers after Mad Max, and based a lot of it off of The Dark Tower by Stephen King, and pretty much went super weird with the fantasy. And we had a big meeting, and they voted on it, and they wanted me to go with the joke setting, which later became World of Reclamation. So it was an interesting, because I didn't expect them to go with it, and they did, and suddenly I realized I had to do a hell of a lot more work in writing to make this a viable setting. But in the end, I'm very glad they went with this setting, because I think out of all of them, it was actually the best choice after all.
Yeah.
So as for inspiration, where I draw inspiration from for World of Reclamation, I'm going to give shout out to Evil Dead, the
Yes.
especially the new ones, like the remakes that they've been doing, which are excellent. Not to say the old ones aren't equally as good, but they're a little more steeped in humor, where the new ones are more unrelenting horror. I'm going to say The Dark Tower by Stephen King was a big influence in that as well. There's a British author, and I can't remember the name of the author at the moment, but he writes books, but he has a movie called The Ritual. It's on Netflix, and it was excellent. I don't think what other, those are, I think, but like The Dark Tower and Evil Dead are two really strong influences I have. Other ones, I mean, it really depends. Sometimes I get inspired by watching some horror movies and kind of get ideas that way. Sometimes I'm just having a think and I'm like, oh wow, that sounds terrible. Let's use that. I know there's one adventure that I did recently for the second season where there's a particularly horrifying execution scene with a captive, and I'm not even sure where that came from, but it sure made me uncomfortable to write it. So
you scared yourself in that one, did you?
I scared myself, and I was like, maybe I should just include this in one of the adventures. Yep. So to quote my wife, why are you like this? I think probably.
What's wrong with you?
And Paul, who's known me long enough, probably can attest to that too. I'm sure he's asked himself that before. Why am I like this? So that's the answer to Paul's question.
We'll go around. We're nearly past the first hour, and we have another hour to go, or thereabouts. We get to the last 10 minutes. The last 10 minutes, we'll do some voting. But we How is this is a question to all painters. How are you getting on? Are you doing better than you thought you were?
I'm chuffed with how the flesh came out because I wasn't sure how that was going to go with the airbrushing. So now I'm just picking out all the nice bloody bits, and then I'm going to go and have fun with the tentacly bits.
Steve? Is Steve out there?
Yeah, I was on mute, sorry. So I've been using hairdryer. Base coating's going slower than I thought it would, but then I haven't painted for ages, so I'll put it down to that. But it is looking very nice. There's a lot of detail to pick out when I pick the dry brush up in a little bit.
Cool.
Oops. Let's knock the hell out of my light for a second. There we go. Glad the camera didn't fall off because it's hanging on there precariously. All right. Well, so I'm done the base coat, so now I'm going to be adding an enamel wash. One of the things I like to do with streaking grime is I put this over the model before I start adding actual acrylics to it.
That's a good idea. How do you find it gives you a better direction?
Yeah, it gives me like the thing that I like about it is it's a subtractive medium versus a additive medium. So you put it on and then you subtract it from the model using a old brush or a Q-tip, right? Just like an oil wash, right? Yeah, and then you can remove parts that you want, and it's just a little more forgiving, I find, than using washes. I mean, I could use and the reason I use enamel versus oil is because enamel dries a lot faster. And I'll be completely honest with you, the smell reminds me of my childhood. When I used to paint with tester paints.
Cool.
Yep. So, do you guys just use straight acrylics, or do you guys use different mediums as well when you're painting?
I'm going to send that question over to Richard because I'm painting an eyeball.
I'm straight up acrylics and inks.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite moments was when I was teaching, because I mentioned I teach a painting class at our local game store once a month. And we did an oil washes class for the first time. And the look of horror on my students' faces when I told them to put this oil that we were actually painting the boatman. And I gave them a brown oil wash and said, okay, smear this all over your model after they finished all this. And the look of horror on their face. And they were and I said, trust the process. And they didn't believe me. And then they were overjoyed when they finally saw the final result. They were just thrilled.
I haven't been brave enough to experiment with stuff like that yet.
Yeah, it's a thing. I used to be, I was like that. And then I finally just gave in and tried, like I did oil washes on easy mode with this streaking grime, because that's really what it is. And I found out that it actually wasn't that intimidating at all. I wasn't too concerned about it. So
we got a Chris Mini Paint says, yeah, oils are fun.
Yeah. But yeah, the look of horror was just priceless on their face. It was amazing. And I just said, yep, now smear this all over your model. And I said, don't panic. And they all panicked, especially because you have to wait for it to dry. Right? So there was like 15 minutes of them just staring at the model quietly, wondering what I made them do.
I'm gonna show you this because I quite like the effect. I mean, look at those eyes. just simple. What am I using? I'm using Z-Lot yellow, and I've dabbed that right in the middle of the eye, and it's just zoomed out and ran into all the cracks. The camera's not quite picking it up, but there is like this dark orange all the way around the outside. It looks superb. Now this is just me having a play, but yeah, that's really gonna. There's a lot of contrast there. Oh, probably my green is probably too dark, but I can layer that up. I can have some fun with that. And again, you can put his attach his arm like that. But I'm liking how this is coming together. Actually, really, really nice. I need I can do those brown.
I'm just gonna hit the hair dryer, so I'm gonna put my mic off. I think it'll be too loud.
Not a problem. So for these viewers at home, what are you painting? Are you painting while you're watching us? If you're watching this on YouTube somewhere in the future, and this is no longer live, what are you painting while you're listening to us? That'd be cool. Are you painting World of Reclamation? If so, send us some photos. And for those of you who are interested, there will be photos going up on our Instagram. So today and tomorrow, I'll put up some progress shots of what I've been working on. Just go to instagram.com/bandofbadgers, and you can see I'm gonna start working on the base next. I think that is awesome. So go check that out. Chris Mini Paints says he has just finished one of the new Death Guard guys. Cool. I don't know what that actually is.
Warhammer.
Warhammer is something I have managed to steer clear of, which is cool. Ian Dragonborn Bard is making some new. I'm assuming he's making some new dice or painting dice or sanding dice. Yeah, dice is. Go check out Dragonborn Industries if you want custom-made dice, based in the UK, down in Cornwall. Also, this I'm gonna put this on the camera as well. Look at that. On the base, we have the creature caster. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
There's actually an interesting story behind that.
Go ahead.
So we, when we were producing our STLs, we all know that the theft of STLs is pretty rampant in this industry.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate, but it's a fact of the industry. And so I wanted to make sure that we had our logo on the bottom of each one of our bases, so at least if somebody steals the file, they know where to get new ones if they want them.
Cool.
Yeah.
It is one of my biggest gripes with it all, especially when I get them messaging me on my Instagram saying, "Would I like to buy exceptionally crafted models that are done to my specs?" And I see, I look at their pictures, and I'm like, "There's 4 different artists worth of work there."
Yeah, that's it's a thing, unfortunately. I mean, like I tell myself, the good news is if they're buying off of Etsy Etsy's actually pretty good. I shouldn't slander Etsy. If they're buying off a Telegram or or one of these third-party services that have their own website that are based in the Soviet Union, which no longer exists. And I'm not kidding you. They have SU websites, like SU, like an SU suffix on the end of it. They were never actually going to purchase your models in the first place, right? Like they don't really care if your company lives or dies in this environment.
Right.
So, but it is important that, we only sell them on Manufactory. That's the only place you can get our models or our STLs. So yeah, this is how we keep on making awesome stuff, right? But unfortunately, it is a fact of the industry that like the theft of files is rampant, and it's not much you can really do about it.
No, because even reporting them, unfortunately, they pop straight back up.
Well, and there's not much we can do. We have a lawyer that he used to work for Disney, and he handles this kind of stuff for us. But the reality is it costs more money to go after these guys than because like you said, they'll just pop right back up, right? So can't really do too much about it. But we're no stranger to this. This was going on for STLs. Chinese recasts are a thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always kind of just been the way of things, right? And you just kind of have to deal with it. I might have gone a little overboard with this one.
Chris Mini Paints mentioned earlier, Richard. He says he might not be a pro. Not sure about that, but I might take you up on it. So you never know.
Joining us on here.
Yeah. So if you've got his contact details, Chris, I'll get them from Richard if that's okay, or send them to me directly somehow.
So I will invite him.
Cool. We'll get you into something. We have a whole new batch of stuff next year. Steve, you are more than super quiet. Are you okay?
I'm hair drying.
Oh, okay.
He's doing his hair. Yeah, leave him alone.
Doing this on camera, pulling in and not, doing this on camera, but.
So I'll just go around the table. Is everybody using Army Painter?
I'm using Army Painter Speed Paints. I have Cuttlefish Colors, which is the paint line that we sell.
Yeah.
That's what I'll be using for acrylics, along with some Army Painter, and I use the streaking grime, I use this AK stuff.
Oh.
So I'm very paint agnostic when it comes to painting. I'm more of a use whatever to get the job done. So, and yeah, it's
likewise. I'm using a mixture of Vallejo, a lot of Army Painter, and even some Citadel contrasts.
Yeah. Oh, and I should give a bit of a shout out to Iwata, because they sent me these amazing new paints. Well, I guess I'm not sure if they're new, but they have their own paint line called New Worlds.
Cool.
And yeah, it's really nice airbrush paint. It's it's a smaller range of paints, so they have a limited palette. But that's kind of perfect for a lot of artists who want to just, I think that these paints are more designed for artists than they are like army painters, right, per se. But no, I mean, I'll be honest with you, most lines of paint are pretty great, and they all have their strengths and weaknesses, and
I've never painted. So Steve knows this, I'm sure Richard knows this, but I've never painted. This, when we started the Great British Brush Off as another show on the Band of Badgers, I had never painted, and luckily I was talking to Vallejo at the time. I said, look, I've got an idea. We're going to do a rip-off of Bake Off. We're going to do the Great British Brush Off. We're going to get pro painters, and it was Vallejo who backed us the first time.
Nice.
And they sent us a whole bunch of paints. They introduced us to some pro painters as well, and that is how we got started. That's how we did it. And it's a few years later, and I'm still not any better. But I keep trying. But since then, we've met loads of other paint companies, paint accessory companies, and they'll send us bits and pieces every now and then, and I'm more than happy to put it on our streams, and we use it. That's the thing. I mean, we use the paint. We use Vallejo. We've got Army Painter sent us some bits and pieces. We've got Turbo Dork. I've got the WizKids paints, which is also Vallejo mixture. And we do different things. Even when we do the live events and stuff like that, we'll do painting at a convention. More than happy to take the stuff along with us. I've just noticed as well, I'm painting this base. I'm doing the skulls on this base of the Berserker Goblin. Yep. And I've noticed that several of these skulls have cracks in their head, right, where they've been attacked with axes or whatever.
Yeah.
And one of it's got a piece of skull shell missing. Again, the detail is lovely.
Thank you.
And the speed paint is just going straight in there.
Yeah, that's kind of why I do my base coat and speed paints. A lot of the time it's just to block out my colors, but it also helps bring out a lot of that detail. Cuttlefish, our range, we actually have a medium that you can add to our. So we have these. We call them Genesis colors. They're which here? Maybe I'll go here because it'll be easier to see.
I can put it
colors.
There we go.
Yeah, and anyway, the whole idea is that you add this medium to our Genesis colors, and it turns it into a speed paint.
Cool.
Yeah, I would have loved to use that for this paint off, but unfortunately, when I went to ReaperCon with the guy who develops these paints, I left the medium in his bag.
Oh.
It's been so yeah, unfortunately I don't have the medium, but I've used it and it's great. I know actually Layla Pitch on YouTube. She actually just did a review of the, as of today, I think she just did a review of the Evolution medium. So, and she was very impressed with it from what I understand.
Nice.
I'm just going to put you on mute again.
No worries.
I'm going to put you on mute, but I can still hear you. I'm just going to be using the hairdryer.
Yep. Speaking of medium or thinning medium, we have this one. This one is Turbo Dork. This is the a jumbo tub of thinning medium. Yeah, there you go. So Taylor's got one. Richard, you got one? There we go. We've all got one, apart from Steve. I have no idea how to use it, but I am looking forward to doing some bits and pieces because I use the Turbo Dork shifters and metallics quite a lot. And Greg and Meredith, thank you so much. Thank you. It goes into the collection.
I haven't had a chance to use it on the metallics yet, but I've been using it this evening, and it is fantastic.
Cool. We have another success story. I'm just enjoying. I've got the. If you can hear birds tweeting, I'm just kind of concentrating on trying to paint these skulls, and every now and then hearing the birds tweeting, thinking, warmer days. If you missed the beginning, we were talking about we're obviously if you don't recognise the accent, we're based in the UK. It's freezing. We've got snow. And it's -1, and it's horrible. It's cold. Dragonborn, are you still out there? Are you still watching? What's the temperature like where you are? You've got the winds from the coast. Are you sheltered? Are you just as cold? Dragonborn says cold and wet. Cool. Right, we've got some messages here. Here we go. Fayora Photography. Good evening, folks. Hello, photography. Well done. Good evening. And you're right. It is good evening. We have, Lila Mev. There you go. Dick Baddie.
What did I say? Did I say Lila Mev? Yeah. I may have said Layla. I may have said Layla.
And also, I bought the new medium at Dragonfall and love it. Is that the Turbo Dork one or the other one? Let us know.
I know for a fact he's talking about the Evolution medium.
Cool.
From Cuttlefish.
And I have a question for the panel. We're getting professional now. They called us panel.
Ooh.
We're really not that good. But I'll take it. What are your go-to brushes, brand and size? That's a great question. I'll go with whoever sends me some is my answer. And I'm currently using Army Painter, but I'm using like these triangle ones. I don't know why these are kind of triangular.
So that's the regiment brush, and you've got the monster brush and the insane detail. So it's a starter pack at 3. Yep. They are good brushes. But I love the regiment brush. Nice. It's really versatile.
That's a loaded question, Dick. You know that I'm using Beast brushes from Chronicle Cards. That's the official Creature Caster paint brushes. And I will get you some, Dave, Steve, and Richard.
Thank you very much.
Cool.
Once I have them back in stock, and yes, they will be on the site soon, Dick. I'm sorry.
It was a loaded question. There we go.
It was a loaded question. Yep. They will be up there for Black Friday, bud. I promise.
My go-tos lately, they used to be some of the Army Painter ones, but I have been trying the Artis Opus.
I like the Artis Opus dry brushes.
It's not the dry brushes. This is their set of detail brushes, and so far they have been very, very nice to use. I was also trying to find the brand of this one. So, Ground Affected, who's down the road from me, who does a lot of. Well, he owns a studio, and he does printing, painting, tattooing, and everything else. Cool. Got one of these cool sable brushes from him, and it's the nice thing is it's a bigger brush, so obviously when painting statues, and it holds itself well. So going to be looking to get myself a few more of those.
Nice.
Yeah. Speaking of which, because you've got I was going to throw up some bits and pieces for you, Richard.
Well, thank you.
So this is this is one of yours, Richard. Do you want to talk us through that one?
So this is a commission I did recently. Obviously, Jinx from Arcane. The sculpt was from CA3D Studios and is one of the most awesome sculpts of Jinx I've seen in a while.
It's cool.
It is awesome, and lots of nice Turbo Dork metallics on that one. And she was good fun to paint. And the actual statue is the non-painted statue are available for purchase through the Instagram if you drop me a message.
Cool. And you've the other one I've put up here as well is we got the orc bust.
So Artisan Guild have started doing busts for their releases. So I blew one up by I think 250%, and wanted to try out. It was doing some yellow flesh with orcs, and I thoroughly enjoyed that one. And that is now up on my shelf up there.
That's cool. Very cool.
But again, it's also available for purchase.
Cool.
Painted and unpainted, actually, that one.
And where can people find you, Richard?
People can find me mainly on the gram, over at Instagram, where we're at Prince3D. But I have also got a little Etsy store. I am on Facebook, TikTok, and generally over here with the Badgers and over with Dragonborn Industries.
Cool. Ooh, there we go. Bing.
And yes, all the awesome little bits there. Where's my screamer? I think.
Dig says he's not a plant. Chris Mini Paint says Rosemary and Co. all the way. Rosemary.
Oh.
What is Rosemary and Co.?
They make stable brushes.
Oh, I might have to Google those.
Yeah, they're oil or not oil. They're artist range brushes.
Cool.
I think they more advertise to the art community than the mini community. But
gotcha. Richard, you mentioned Artist Opus. Are they UK based?
I think they are.
They are. Yeah. They absolutely are in the UK.
I have met them at a con once or twice.
Yeah, they're usually they're there with Ross from Fohammer.
I was going to say they're usually with Fohammer. Fohammer's currently partying with Ground Affected at the moment in Germany, I think it is.
Wow.
They're at a printing convention, looking at some of the awesome new printers coming out.
Oh, do you guys live near?
Not jealous or anything, you know.
Do you guys live near Ross at all from Fohammer? I'm not sure where you guys are located in the UK.
I'm not sure where. I think he's not close, but he is. I can't remember if he's middle of the country, but he gets around a bit. He was at NEC, Games Expo, Dave.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I don't know who he is or what he looks like. So there was 25,000 other people there. So
yeah, I will link you here his channel and show you him. He's brilliant. Lot to do with printing more than anything.
That's fine. Well, we need him to come along to the Badgers meet and greet it's every evening. It's basically drinks in the bar every evening. I mean, that's what it is.
He also loves dry brushing. He will tell you all about his dry brushing adventures with Artist Opus. He loves dry brushing. He's quite good at it.
What we got? We got Rucrion. Rucrion. I use the Cuttlefish Merlin's medium with every paint I have. I would love to try the new medium too. Oh, there you go. Cuttlefish.
That is one of my paintings. Ray.
So here we go, Bourbon Hero. Taylor, as a painting teacher, are you confident at all that you can teach me, the absolute worst artist you know, to paint a model decently well? I would say that so here's my take on that one.
No, you can't. You can't.
Well, yeah, he can.
Go ahead.
He can, but I think half of it, maybe a little bit of it, comes from the paints you use. So, like we were talking about what paints we use and how we got into it and what we did before. I mean, I started with Vallejo, but when I got Army Painter, speed paints, specifically speed paints, it meant I didn't have to like dry brush. I didn't have to do anything extra. I put it on, it finds all the cracks, it does the definition. And I was like, it made me 10 times better than what I actually am. They're cheating paints. They're beginner paints. I love them. Absolutely love them. So check those out first. You heard it here
Bourbon
first.
Hero is my friend Jason. I've been friends with him for 35 years almost. and I will tell you, I have artwork on my fridge from him, and beside artwork from my 6-year-old daughter, and my 6-year-old daughter puts him to shame.
Yeah. Wow.
But I'm still willing to teach you, Jay, if you want to come out.
I was trying to offer some advice. He's a no hope. Let's just move on.
He's Jason's a great guy. No, you know what he is though? He's a fantastic writer. His writing is phenomenal. He actually wrote the actually speaking of World of Reclamation, he actually wrote the first novel that we did, the novella that we published. I think I sent that over to you.
I was going to say I've had a novella pop up on the Mini Factory.
Yeah, he wrote the first novella. That's him.
Oh, cool.
He did a fantastic job with it. He's a great author.
Okay, the chat is kicking off, and I'm trying to paint, but I need to push some buttons. Steve, why are you here?
Why am I here? I'm painting.
Yeah, push buttons, man. Push buttons. All you're doing is painting black. I'm trying to paint a goblin.
Painting black. There is some other colours in there.
There's some browns too.
Yeah.
Chris Mini Paints says very good brushes. Artist Opus brushes are made by Rosemary and Co. Oh, okay.
Oh, there you go. I didn't know that.
Hagley, how you doing? Dragon Skull. I said, what you painting? We're painting a lot. We're doing it. You're gonna have to rewind and start again. We're painting a lot of things.
I'm painting Sweet Tooth.
Here we go. Let's whack that on screen. Zoom. How? What do you do? Oh, I see the worm is sticking out the arm there. It is gross, isn't it? How deep? Because you also print these things. How deep is that hole in his arm? Because it looks pretty disgusting.
It's
pretty deep.
There you go. Show me again.
It's a beautiful gob.
Oh
wow.
What about his left arm? There's a worm or something coming out of his arm.
You got tentacles coming out all over it, and you got all the torso as well.
That's nasty.
You can show him if you show him the right arm where he's holding the cleaver, you can actually see the muscle detail underneath the skin. I
was just about to say this: the left arm is stunning for detail, and for the
wow.
There we go.
Yeah, but inside of each one of those holes in there, you can see the muscle detail underneath his arm.
Yeah.
That is cool. Taylor, let's put yours up on the screen. We haven't seen that for a while. Let's go. Zoom.
Working on it.
Oh, wow.
Boom. Yeah, it's coming along.
That's nice.
I'm gonna do some fluorescent OSL effects with the sword and the smoke once I get the main part done.
Yeah, that is cool. It's fine. Go on, Steve. We haven't seen yours for a while. I've got to find Steve's screen now. There it is. Zoop. Whoop. There we go.
Looking good, buddy.
There you go. There's a lot of black. But there are other colours. There's some blue. There we go.
Cool. Nice. Zambies says they're here for chaos. Hi, welcome. Chris Mini Paints. I don't think what's this? Hold on. I don't think I have every painted one of the creature caster. I think I have ever.
You haven't painted a creature caster model. I need to remedy that.
I have every painted one of the creature caster. Looking on your site, and there are some great models. Yeah, fantastic site. Do go check it out. I will put the stuff up on the screen. For those of you in the UK, go to that. Look, uk.creaturecaster.com.
Yep.
There we go.
Zambies, by the way, is an amazing painter. She's won plenty of competitions. She's it's actually a good jump off to talk about our Resin Beast, which is our painting competition we have every year at Adepticon.
Yep.
She hasn't won one yet, but she enters every year, and her models are phenomenal.
She says she's working on the Lady of Anguish.
Yes, cool. And it looks phenomenal. I've been following it intently, and because she's on Twitch and they can't show models' boobs. She has googly eyes over the boobs, over the nipples. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
That's worse, isn't it? Just like,
it's amazing. Zambies, you guys. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh dear. Zambies, if you ever want to hang out and paint with some complete amateurs, give us a shout. Just get in touch. Chris Mini Paints. What did you say? Look, you said that, and then Richard said he could send you one. I tell you what, if Richard can send you a print or an STO or whatever it is you need, the deal is you have to come on here with us and Richard and paint.
100%. Okay, I will absolutely sanction this if you come on and paint.
Yeah, and we'll get Taylor back on. We'll get everyone back on. It'll probably be December, maybe January, but we'll get you back on. Okay, that's the deal.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. Zambi said, we call it googly booblies. Fantastic.
I famously don't Twitch. So I'm sure this is great for Zambies who I famously don't watch streams on Twitch. So and yet I'm all,
I've got to get some. Where can I get that on Amazon? Some googly eyes. I love the idea.
I've got so many questions. Are the googly eyes stuck on the model, or have you managed to get this in software, like in Twitch?
You can
like an OBS, you've got googly eyes in OBS that you've placed over where the mini is.
You can just do a quick Instagram search. I'm sure she has them on there. You can take a look and show it up. It's
I'm frightened to type googly booblies into Instagram.
No, type in Zambies decays.
Zambies, right? Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Zambies decays.
Oh my God!
Yeah, put the googly boobly up, or boobly. Yeah, put them up on screen.
Yeah, you can link Zambies. If it allows you to link, you can link. Go for it. I tell you what.
If you put it in, it don't allow it. I can get it past.
Okay. We will swap links, Zambies. So go there, Instagram.com/bandofbadgers. You won't see it. Well, you will see these minis. I'll put the minis that I'm working on. But also go here, youtube.com/bandofbadgers. And this is the Great British Brush Off. And what we do, we have guest pro painters who come on, and we just hang out, chat, do this, and at the end of the 2 hours, you get judged by the audience.
So, judged.
you can
your paint
win the gold star.
There's no judging of you.
Well, we judge you, Steve.
You judge me, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to not put the guests off.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm already following Zombies. It's fine.
Cool.
That was one of the coolest Zombies I saw was the Charizard Pokemon card.
Cool.
Because I've started selling the cards from there, and they're beautiful.
They are very, very clever, those things. Right. Zambi says, gave us a follow. Thank you very much. It is always appreciative. And again, if you want to hang out, just chill out. As you can tell, we don't take this too seriously. But we're painting some bits and pieces. We're doing more in the new year as well. The Great British Brush Off will be back in full force in the new year. We have missed it this year.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, it was a good giggle.
I'm doing the Goblin Berserker cloak because he's got this ragtag cloak. And again, Army Painter paint is the speed paint is just going. There's so much texture, which I didn't see before, and it's just finding everything. It's really nice. I'm using this kind of blood red. And it's awesome.
It's doing its job well, is it?
It is very red.
It's doing what it says on the tin. Yeah, look, can you see that? That red.
Yes, that's what I used as well on me. Dangly
Yeah, this
bits.
is the Slaughter Red. I thought that was quite apt, actually.
I used the blood red.
Oh, yeah, blood red. I'm
I
using.
don't know why I'm holding up there.
This is a slightly darker one.
Yeah, I used the blood red.
Are you going to be painting your other model tomorrow, Steve?
Yeah, I'll probably detail this a bit and then do the other one. I have to do a little bit more priming under the armpits because I missed a bit when I was doing it in the dark.
I was eager to see that one.
I was just thinking that I'll show you this one. Oh, hold on. All right, boom. So this is one you're doing tomorrow.
Yeah, that's one I'm doing tomorrow.
Cool.
The Wasteland Abomination.
Yeah, that's awesome, and the base for it is wicked.
I'm glad you like it. And I wasn't actually sure about that model when it got published. I wasn't sure if people would like it or not, but it's actually one of our more popular ones.
And it's like, sorry, put it back.
Oh.
In the main, when you think it's just hair or fur or something, it isn't. You can see all the skulls in it.
Skulls.
Oh wow.
So now I think, I'm gonna have to do it as flames.
That is cool.
That's cool.
It's such a beautiful model.
We got I'll let's put mine up on the screen. We got so we got the Goblin Berserker, and just doing these red there. I was just thinking, can I put the googly booblies on him? Just get some tiny ones and just stick them on. Just for Zambies. I wonder if that will work.
Did I ever tell you the story about PAX? How they did I tell you about that last time? About how they we went to PAX and we spent all this money getting there, and they made us buy stickers and cover up all the nipples on all of our models.
What convention?
Do you know how many nipples our models have?
A lot.
There's one model we have that actually has like 16 breasts.
Oh my god.
And I had to put a little sticker on each one of the nipples.
That's a whole lot of stickers.
That's a whole lot of stickers. There's a whole package at CVS. If the hissing gets too annoying, let me know and I'll put it on mute.
That seems so extreme.
That's America for you. the hell? Uh-oh.
Zambri says, yeah, she's happy to come on. Perfect, because I don't take it too seriously. Cool. Send us some contact details somehow, or
I can get the details to you.
cool. If you're happy
Yeah.
with that, then Taylor will send us the contact details and we'll sort it out that way. What we got? We got the PAX. Yeah, there you go. The PAX nipple story.
Everybody's heard the Pax nipple story. Yeah. We're
on Sky saying fun with the tentacly bits. Now that's a sentence. The legendary nipple story. There we go. Zambi says, I'm going to forget to take them off and just submit my piece with the googly eyes.
do it, Zambies.
I like that. It's been a heck of a week. So having a giggle is what it's all about.
That is mostly what it's about when we do this rambling and having a laugh.
We are down to the last 20 minutes, guy. Oh, I've just put my paintbrush in the wrong paint. Right, guys, we're down to the last 20 minutes, which actually means you've got 10 minutes of painting left before we take it to the audience to get voted on who has the best painted mini so far. Now, we are back tomorrow, same time, same place, same Badger channel, to continue painting these, and then we will be back in December for another go, round 3 of painting them. We've got 2 minis each. So I've got my little Goblin Berserker, and I've also got one of the Mad Max looking dudes who's awesome. And I'm just finding out more and more. I just realized that's actually got texture on his cloth as well. That is amazing. So many little details on these. They are absolutely awesome.
That's it. I will only be painting one because I really want to try and finish this guy. I have printed out a lot though. So the lovely Fiora Photography will be doing some beautiful pictures of them all for me soon.
Cool.
Be a lot of the picture content on the Instagram to show off some of these incredible details. And again, it's just finding every little piece as you're going around a model. There's something new you'll find.
Yep. And that's what I meant about using these as a centerpiece. You could use these in any game. Play World Reclamation. But if you're not into that kind of horror game, and you pick up some of these guys, oh yeah, we're getting attacked by bandits, and you throw in some of these Mad Max bandits, your players are going to poop themselves. They really, really will. And they are awesome. Bump up the stats a little bit.
All right. I'm not going to get this done. I thought I was going to get this done, but I just realized how much green fire there is on this model.
So I think I'm going to be able to get the back of this cloak. No, I'm not going to be able to get the detail bits done, but the back I'll get done. So for those of you in the audience, we've talked about paints and paintbrushes and accessories. What do you use? Airbrush? Is that a main tool? If so, is there a particular brand of airbrush that you like? Let us know in the comments, and we'll shove them up on screen. A topic of discussion. Ouch. And the minis are sharp too.
They are. Yeah, just something to keep in mind.
Trying to turn it around. Like, ow! Just stabbing myself.
I would say I've cut myself on plenty of creature caster models before.
The 3D printer absolves himself of any.
It's a small print, is it?
That's it. Doesn't take responsibility for any injury whilst handling model.
Let's have a look. Xeon says those eyes look good. Now, you still talking about the googly booblies, or are you talking about the goblin eyeballs? Let's get that right. We're talking about my mini. Thank you very much.
Dave for the win.
Exactly. Zambi says, I like my airbrush for priming and base coating, blended. I love my Iwata.
I love my Iwata, not going to lie.
So is that so? For example, Richard, is that something you would do? Do you use your airbrush for priming?
Yeah. So, well, you know how all my models, when I've sold like these guys now, black and white, that's all with my Iwata.
So I just use I've primed my ones in white spray. I've just used Citadel Corax white or wherever it is. But that's it. I just straight from the spray can. But again,
right.
the whole point of it is learning.
I hate spray cans,
right?
Because I don't feel like you can always prime, and because of the amount I prime anyway. So I use the Vallejo black and white primer, the airbrush primer.
Yeah.
Go through it all, and it's a much better finish when it's done like that. I find the spray cans can get quite clogged and don't give as good a surface for it. They're great, they're functional, and I know everyone loves them, but they're just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, that's cool. Chris Mini Paints says, I'm using the Harder and Steinbach Ultra. One of the cheaper ones, but really good. Cool.
That's a good brush.
Yeah,
I've heard lots of good things about it.
And here's a beginner newbie question. I can see Taylor there. It's put up on the big screen. Your airbrush has like a bucket on top of it. Is that the standard for every airbrush? Is that just how they work?
Yeah, most of them have a bucket on the top. There's different sizes. This one, I'm using the Arter and Steinbeck CR Plus.
Yeah.
So it's it comes with a variety of sizes of bucket you can use for it. I prefer the big one just because I'm lazy and don't want to change out the small one. But I rarely do it full. But yeah.
Here's a question as well, because you can see here that I've just got this. This is the Army Painter paint tray. That is on my desk that I work at, and this is my computer and everything else. You can see it all there. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Is this so for Taylor? Is this your painting desk? Because you're just have you got sides on it, or are you just spraying away?
So I have so this is my, I mean, I guess you've seen my painting desk from the other side. But yeah, so I have all my paints lined up in front of me. I have my compressor that's sitting underneath here that's mounted, and I keep my ready to go. So yeah, this is my painting studio, I guess I call it. That's also my workspace. I spend a lot of time in this room. It's daunting.
It's the Zen place. It's okay. The thing that we found, the thing that I've liked the most about painting is actually just zoning out and doing something very calm. And when we do it like this, when we get to talk to interesting people, it's really nice. We find out all little tips and tricks, which is great. Xeon Scar says the last thing I painted was a Warrior Prince mimic. I know those mimics, those damn mimics, but he's not finished it yet. That's probably all of my Warrior Prince stuff. I bought stuff.
You were my first customer.
Oh yeah, there you go. I literally bought stuff. It's still in a box. I've got, in fact, look, here's some of the stuff I've got. We were painting this a few weeks back. This is Miles Morales, Spider-Man, and again, it's one of those statues that kind of attaches to something else and then something else under the base. Absolutely love it, but not finished it yet. But it's all good.
Yeah, you bought that off me on my very first ever event.
See, and he still can't get rid of me.
Wonderfully
Chris.
so.
Chris Mini paints airbrush for the lot, priming, base coat, shadows, and such. Wow, cool. Zambi says, I like rattle cans for terrain or large projects, but for models, especially in the cold winter, I prefer airbrushing. Where are you, Zambis? Are you UK, Canada, US, somewhere else? We're UK. Taylor's Canada, in case you didn't know. Where's I just lost it. Dragonborn says I use Dragonborn says I use an Amazon TimberTech, £20, bad boy. I do love it. It would be nice to play with a better one, but it does the job. TimberTech. That's probably even cheaper right now on Amazon Black Friday. Zion, everyone's chatting now. Look, we're running to the end. We're gonna start voting soon. In fact, if you want to vote for stuff you've already seen so far, put it into chat. Just shout out their name, and I'll find a pen and paper to mark it down. There we go. I'm prepared, honest. I will mark down the votes as they come in. Xeon Scar says, last thing I fully finished was a Pikachu card. Cool. Yeah, I got mine from Richard as well, for my little boy. What one did we get? It was the Charizard. We got the full set. That was cool. Dragonborn Industries. As for primer, both, but for versatility, for Zenith with crazy colors with an airbrush. Cool. Zambi's in Chicago. Cool. Steve, where's Glass Cannon? Are they in Chicago or near Chicago?
No, I don't think so. They're in New York.
Are they?
Yeah, I think they're in New York because that's where they are. I'm pretty sure that's where they are in the trailer video.
Right. I had to confirm with Ian. Ian says New York.
Dude, NY. Yeah.
Cool. Isn't that near Chicago?
No.
Is it?
No, nowhere near Chicago. Okay. To be
it's
fair,
not quite
all
the
right?
other side of the country, but it's getting close.
I've got Ian saying, look, do you listen to them all? Look, I try to, but I don't pay that much attention. I like the story. Dude. Hey, I just lost a vote because of that. I say that to Troy. You didn't get Troy on. I'll get what's his face?
Screech, not Screech. Got something else in my brain now.
Yeah. Skid.
Skid, yes.
We get Skid on. We'll talk about it then.
I don't know where Saved by the Bell came from, but that's what went straight to my head.
Right. Okay. Enough's enough. We're going to quickly go round, but we're going to start collecting votes. Steve, you need to make a note of these as well, just in case I miss out and I win.
With the piece of paper that you maybe get.
Yeah. Let's start with what? This is us. They're still going. Look, brushes down.
Oh, sorry. Oh, brushes down. Oh, sorry. All right.
Yeah. Done.
Okay.
We've got to come back tomorrow now. This is it. Boom. New York is 15 hours drive away from Chicago for reference. I wouldn't drive for 15 hours. I don't drive for 5 hours.
I drove
for 1 hour.
I drove to Las Vegas.
Work for an hour.
I think we drove for. I think it's 42 hours per trip there and back. So 80 hours to drive from Chicago to Las Vegas. That I did last year.
How many days did you do that in?
3.
What?
Yeah, it was a bad choice. We made a poor choice.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. Okay, look, for Canadians and Americans and wherever, England, UK is so tiny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but for those of us who live here, you could probably go, oh yeah, you could drive to Scotland in a day. Now technically you probably can. You don't want to. You might drive for an hour and then you have to get a hotel room. That's it.
Yeah.
You have a hotel room, you have dinner, breakfast the next day. You might stay for a second day.
You should come with a disclaimer, right? Not everyone is like that.
What was it?
Yeah. Every British person will not get in and drive themselves. They won't even sit in the car for that.
Scotland in one sitting.
My province that I live in, Ontario, it will take you 24 hours to drive from one end to the other.
Oof.
Yeah. To drive across my city takes 2 hours. Yeah.
We have like 20-mile-an-hour speed restrictions.
Are all your roads tarmac? So you got compacted earth roads as well?
Yeah, actually, yeah. A lot of most of the main city is asphalt, and then we have on the outskirts there's a lot of dirt roads. Yeah, that's it's a big place. I mean, we only have 200,000 people that live here, but it is a very large catchment area.
Because is it the Taylor Highway? Is that big highway in Canada? Probably not. Might not be near you.
Look, we're talking about distance. You got not that one. Rurikon, Rukrion says to go to my mum's it takes at least 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah.
Now if I was popping down like mum and dad's for Sunday roast, 5 hours there, 2 hours to eat dinner, and then another 5 hours back. No, it's a hotel room, at least with spa facilities, couple of days rest, and then back in the car. You have to do that. But that's the UK. It's the UK.
Yeah, we're about 5 hours north of Prague.
This is without Dave driving as well.
Yeah. I have a Steve for that. And that's why. But anyway, everyone's got like, wow, Dave has driving issues.
Yes, Dave has a driver.
Ran over. So, where are we? Votes, people. Right, Taylor, we're going to start with you. Let's check out the mini. Here we go. So, if you want to vote for Taylor, start getting those in now. You can vote for other painters as well. That is looking awesome. What's your next step? So, when we come back tomorrow, what we're going to see?
Yeah, I'm going to be adding so where the white is. I'm going to be airbrushing white over top of that lightly, and then I'll be adding some neon yellow fluorescent on there, and then I'm going to just do some contrasting up, clean up of the, and then we're done with the model.
Cool, fantastic.
That green is looking really good.
Thank you.
It really pops, doesn't it? Yeah. That sounds awesome. Steve, let's go to you. There we go.
All right. Shall I focus it? Where's my mouse gone? Come on.
Get your votes in. All you got to do in chat, people, is just put out someone's name. You got Taylor, Richard, Dave, and Steve.
Okay, so I've just finished base coating. So I've speed painted in black the cloak. I did purple on the skin and the tentacles, and some copper on the lantern. Just a little bit of blue for some magic. So basically, I just need to pick out some details with the acrylic paint, and then do the dry brushing for the OSL that I'm going to try.
Cool. But then for tomorrow, you're going to switch minis. Is that correct?
I'm going to switch minis, yeah. So I'll do all the detailing on this one offline and most pictures, because I need 2 episodes to do the big model.
Cool. Richard, over to you.
Okay.
The big one, the big beast. Look at that. That is
Looking
incredible.
That is unbelievable.
So what else are you going to do to it?
So I'm going to finish off the tentacles. Well, tomorrow the plan is to get all the bone protrusions and spikes done, as well as the tentacles, and finish off some of the bits in the flesh and see how far that gets me.
I noticed that bit on the back. He's like back spine. It's all. Oh, look at that. It's nasty.
And you can see his organs underneath.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I've got some of the flesh tearers red in the organs, which is awesome. And you've got the
he's got his snack.
snack and his more.
I love where he's got a takeaway as well. It's fantastic. Right, and here is, let's put mine up on a big screen. There we go. This is the Goblin Berserker. So I managed to get into those eyes. He's hulked out a bit at the moment. This is the I've used an orc skin, which is the speed paint, just to do on that. At the same time, there is his arm. His arm will plug in there somewhere, and then he will be up in the air. So he's going to be suspended. This sword will be in the ground, and the
I
base.
love your skulls. They've come out really well.
The skulls are amazing. I mean, look at these. I was going to do like a dark mud, but I might do like sand or maybe even snow. I'm not sure. But I was going to do, look, you see the detail there on that skull? Because it's caved in. And on this skull over here, it's like got the cuts and grooves on it. It's fantastic how it's picked up all that. But anyway, this, the sword will be embedded in there with more skulls, you see. So that will be the stand. And then our little goblin friend will be attached by his arm and literally suspended like that. That is going to be awesome. So I'm going to continue with that one tomorrow. That's what I'm going to continue with. And when we come back in December, I'll do my second mini. And we'll crack on from there. But anyway, shout out those votes.
One for Richard. And
I've got two for Richard. I've got Chris Mini Paints and Dragonborn. His vote's for Richard. No one else has bothered voting. There we go. We're gonna vote. So we're just chuck it into chat, Twitch chat, YouTube chat. Chuck it in. Richard, we got another one. There it is. Rukrion.
Just in chat, we've got another one for Richard.
Larry.
Idea. Richard.
Natas. No, Natasha. There we go. I thought it says Natasha Charms, but it's Natasha Harms.
Natasha Harms.
Yeah.
I should have done a poll, Larry. Yes, you're right. And Dave will probably moan at me later about not being organised and doing. Now he's had to actually write something down with a piece of paper.
Sorry, Taylor, yours is awesome as well, but you just didn't win. That's from Rurikon.
Womp womp.
It's Disco has one vote for Taylor.
So Richard, we've got Ari Man's Wrath wants to know what you was painting.
Sweet Tooth.
Sweet Tooth.
It's people who have just joined us. So here we go. We'll make it, and after this, we're going to say goodbye, people. Bourbon says 2 votes for Taylor. That is awesome. And again, so for everyone here, we are back this time again tomorrow. So we're going to continue painting these up. You've got a mix of beginner, professional. Where is he? He's over there. Professional. And Taylor, who's like the creator of these things. So anything you want to know, we've got it all here for you. But we will be back this same time again tomorrow and something like that they normally say on these things. But until then, check out. I'll get all the guys. If you can post some progress shots onto Instagram, tag Badgers, and we'll get those away. But for right now, let's turn off that music because I've got the Glade going on. And that's it. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Sounds great.